Hey guys, welcome to another session of Redesign UX. Today's video is all about getting started with XD. If you're a beginner and have no experience working with XD, then this video is a great start for you. We'll be going over some basic tools and properties and then see how to demo our prototypes and also share them with others and get feedback. So let's dive in. So when you open Adobe XD, it asks you to choose the type of project. There are three standard types. We have an iPhone, an iPad, or a web-based project. So if you do not want any of these standard sizes, then you can also create a project of your custom size by mentioning the width and the height. Now if you're looking for more options, you can always click on this arrow and you can find Android mobile. So for today's video, I'm gonna go ahead with the iPhone template. So Adobe XD has a very simple and neat UI. So we have the toolbox to the left and we have the property inspector to our right and the menus on the top. So there are two basic views in Adobe XD. We have the design view and the prototype view. So the design view is where you create your layout elements on your artboard, and you can also import other resources from maybe Photoshop or Illustrator. And in your prototype view, you link all of these artboards together and you can demo your project. So let's get started with some of the basic shapes. To start off, you have the artboard in the center. Now I can rename my artboard by double clicking. In the toolbox, we have the select tool and some basic shapes, the line tool, the pen tool, text, the artboard tool, and down we have the assets and the layers option in the same toolbox. So let me start off with a basic rectangle shape. You can click and drag to draw your shape, and on the right side, you get the options for the width and the height. Right, so I've set it to a height of 65. I'll go ahead and draw another shape. So you can use the select tool to select the object, and in your property inspector, you can see that you have alignment options in the very first row. So you can either horizontally or vertically align each of these elements to the left, right, or the middle. So the first rectangle, I'm going to be aligning it vertically at the top. Then down below we have the width, the height, and options to rotate the element and to flip it horizontally or vertically. And you also can key in the exact X and Y positions. And down we have responsive resize, which we will see in a different video. And then we have the appearance tab below. So here you can decide the opacity of your object. You can use any fill colors or give it a border. So for this, I choose to give it a fill color of red. And I don't have to stick to a solid color. I have the option for a linear gradient as well. So this gives me a beautiful gradient. And so as you can see, these four circles, they allow me to have a rounded border like this. So let me just reduce the size. And now I'm going to position this in the middle vertically. So apart from this, I also have options to give it a beautiful shadow. I can give it a fill color. I can change the border color as well. So I'm just going to replicate this. Okay, now moving on to the ellipse tool, I'll hold down shift so that I get a proportionate. And again, I can change its width or height. I'll draw another ellipse within this. So let me just draw a couple of shapes. So I'm going to use a line tool now. Okay, so that completes it. I'll use a small ellipse. So now, when we have multiple elements, we can always group them together by selecting all of these by holding down the shift key and then you say Control G, or you can also right click and say group. How do we see this? So when you go to the layers panel, you can see that there is a group. Now this progress bar behaves as a group, so I can move it as a whole, okay? And also when holding down the shift key, I can resize it as a whole. So it makes multiple elements behave as one group. Okay, and down here we also have the assets option. So what we can see in the assets is all the colors and any symbols that we have been using throughout all of our artboards. Now components are symbols that you want to use frequently in your work. So what I can do is, if I want to group multiple elements together, again I select all of them by holding down the shift key, and then I click on this plus icon here. So this will be added as a component. So now I can drag this onto any of my artboards, or when I paste it outside the artboards, then it is called a paste board. So when you look at the layers option, it shows that you have a paste board with this particular component. So this summarizes our design view. We have the toolbox, the assets tab, the layers tab, and the property inspector on the right. Now let's move ahead to the prototype view. So now I have the entire design for a particular insurance app, and I'm going to show you how do you connect these multiple artboards in the prototype view. So I have this artboard titled app, and I want to make this as the starting page of my app. So how do I do that is by selecting this artboard, and I see a home icon to the left which is grayed out. So by selecting this, it means that this is the home page for my app. And this blue icon that you see here, you need to click and drag and connect it to a different artboard. So what this does is that when you click on this app artboard, it redirects you to the login artboard. Now how do I want this interaction to be performed? I can control this by the options provided in this menu bar here. So I can choose the type of trigger that I want, if I want it to be a timed trigger, or if I want it to happen at the press of a key, or by a tap. So I'm going to leave this at tap, and then I can also choose my action type, which can be a transition or auto animate or overlay. And for now I'm going to retain transition, and then I can choose the duration, the effect, and so on. So I'm going to leave all of these at ease out and the duration at 0.3 seconds. So I'm just going to complete my connections. So another connection that I'm going to make is that when I click on the sign in button, I want it to take me to the dashboard of my app, which is this particular board. So once I complete all of these connections, it looks something like this. So let's go ahead and preview the app. Now to preview the app, you need to click on this play symbol, which is located in the upper right corner. So clicking on this will open your app in a separate window, and then it becomes easier to demo your app. Further, if you want to share your work with somebody else and also get feedback from them, now that is super easy in Adobe XD. So all that you have to do is click on the share button here, and on the right side you will see an option to create a link. So when I click on this link, it opens the app demo in my web browser, and I can demo the app just like I did previously, and also I can make comments in the built-in comment feature. Well, so this makes it all super easy. So thank you for watching, guys. If you've liked this, do give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you in the next video.